today I will be doing a small presentation for the English examination TOEFL. TOEFL, the full form is Test of English as a Foreign Language. So many of you will have doubts like why TOEFL, what is TOEFL, for what reason we should write TOEFL. So TOEFL is an examination that you have to write as a English language test when you want to go to any abroad country for pursuing your studies or any work that you have to do or for any or for immigration process. So why do you have to take TOEFL is that this will actually tell you how confident enough you are in English, and it will give an idea to the people in that country that you are capable enough to manage in the country with the English knowledge that you have. So there are many universities that will accept your TOEFL score. Your TOEFL examination will be accepted in many universities in America, Canada, and many other countries. So there are many students who are taking up their TOEFL exams now, and they also have their GRE exams, and these two exams will be considered for your America universities, and Canada universities will also consider your TOEFL examinations. So now ETS is Educational Testing Service. They are the main people who conduct your TOEFL examinations. I'm sorry. So the ETS will actually conduct your GRE exams and your TOEFL exams. You have to book your slots for your GRE and your TOEFL examinations in ETS. If in case you're going to take your TOEFL examinations now or later, make sure that you have enough amount of time to practice. You have enough time to practice the online exams. So there are few sample exams that are of zero cost when you book your exams in the ETS site. So even for GRE and for TOEFL, you'll be having classes. You'll be having examinations that are free of cost before you attend the exams, the original exams. You can go through these exams in the site. So this is actually an English language proficiency test. So this will be told by many. This will be one of the requirements that many universities ask for students who are applying to it. Why do you need to know English is that when a foreigner or any person from abroad comes to our country, we judge them with what language they talk. It's just like that because we have different languages in our country, and we are not good enough about it, and we can't manage with only English in our country. So but when you step out of our country, English is a universal language that you can manage in any place. Any country you go out of India, you can manage with English is more than enough for you to survive in any country. So only to prove that, or only for the university people, or for any if you want to work in a place, for those people in the administration, they would want to know that you are good enough in English. So they will check how eligible you are to manage, or how eligible you are to survive in the country with the knowledge in English that you have. So why TOEFL? As I said, it is an examination that will actually TOEFL will help you for scholarships also. I'll explain about that. Your GRE exams and TOEFL exams in many of the America universities will be a very big credit point. That's because they'll not only see your GPA, your extra credits, like whatever you have done, either you have presented any papers, or if you have done any projects that's been gone to any national level, or all these will be credential points. But your GRE and TOEFL mark will also be very important when you're applying for your universities. So they will give you scholarships based on the marks that you score. Many universities will provide us scholarships, many universities will not provide. It depends on the university's criteria. So TOEFL will be preferred when you are going for US, because US will take your quantitative mark from GRE and English mark from TOEFL. They will consider the verbal mark that you have scored in GRE, but that will be around 5% of your entire scoring. But they'll only see your English from TOEFL, and they will see your quantitative from your GRE examinations. So there are many TOEFL exams. The TOEFL scores will be accepted even by in Germany, France, and many other universities. So there are two types of TOEFL examinations. One is the internet-based test. The other is a paper-delivered test. As far as I know, in our place, we maximum many people will take only the internet based test, because internet based test, only in internet based test you will have the speaking section, but in the paper deliver test you will not have the speaking section. Internet based test, all the four, okay though, so there are four sections in your TOEFL. So that will be listening, reading, writing, and speaking. This is for your internet based test. Everything will happen in the same day. You will have a 4 hour slot. It'll be broken into 40 minutes, and 20 minutes only for speaking, and the rest of the time for your other three sections. So everything will happen like immediately. You'll have everything happening one after the other, one after the other in the same day. You won't have 2 days to appear for the exams. So next is when you take your paper based test. Paper based test will be taken by people where you will not have internet, where that particular place does not have internet, does not support your internet. Then you can take a paper deliver test. Over there you will not have speaking. Instead of speaking, you have a section called structure as written. It's basically writing but in a different way. You won't write like essays like how you write in the normal writing section, but over here you will have a structured based written work. So I will explain to you that in the coming slides. So when and all can you take your your TOEFL test is that you can take the test cannot be taken more than once in every 3 days. You can take it 1 to 4 weeks in most of the countries. As I said, your internet based test is more convenient when compared to that of your paper based test. Your internet based test will be preferred because you can score more when compared to your paper based test, because you have some a section called structure as written, but you won't score much when you do a writing or typing in both IELTS or TOEFL. You will score more only when you speak or in your reading and listening section, because to be very honest, when you start writing an essay, you won't get words on the spot, because you'll be nervous about the examinations. Even though it's an English exam, all of us will be nervous about taking the exams. So when you're nervous, you'll start losing the words that you have in mind. You will not have a catch of the points that you want to write in the essay. So in that point of time, you people will actually mark you according to how you impress them with your essay, and how good your points are, and how you've used your English in the essay. So at that time, because we're being tensed and because we are out of words, when we are trying to do it, we will not be able to match their level of expectation, and that's where we lose points. So the places where you can score is your speaking, reading, and listening. So next, so the reading pattern I said, you have the testing pattern I said. First is reading. You have around 30 to 40 questions, 3 to 4 passages, and you will have different types of questions. So you'll have MCQ, you'll have match. Or match is not like they'll give you the options and you have to match. It's like they will give you a heading and you have to put the particular words according to it. And you will have questions where you have to fill in 2 to 3 words, or you have to complete a sentence. Listening will be like you will have to listen to lectures, conversations, or discussions that is between two people, and you have to answer the questions. A small tip for listening that I would like to give is that listen to people from abroad universities. There would be many lectures in YouTube or any lectures in any of the sites that you know. Please do listen to people who talk in a proper English, like in their native language. That is, let it be any American or a person from Canada. Just listen to all those people who talk, or listen to those lectures, or any anyone who's taking any like any presentation or something. Please do listen to that, because then only you'll get to know the words. It's not that you'll get to know the meaning of the words, more than that you'll understand the words. Why you have to understand is because we pronounce words differently when compared to that of the people in America. Like I can explain, people over here tell person, and people in America tell it as person. So there is a difference between pronouncing words, and you will get confused when you listen to the words that they pronounce. So it's better you listen to lectures or any presentations done by a native speaker, and that will make you a bit strong in listening. Next, you have a break for 10 minutes and then you have speaking. Speaking is actually six tasks, or it depends. You can either have four or six tasks. So, your six tasks will be like you'll have two types of speaking. One will be the simple and the other one will be integrated. That is, it's quite difficult. So, your speaking is not like you're going to talk at a stretch for 2 minutes or something. You are going to talk only for 45 seconds or either for 60 seconds. If you're talking for 45 seconds, I know it's a very, very, very short span of time, but you have to complete it within that. There's a small trick that you can actually use when you're doing for when your wife is speaking. Just repeat the entire question when you're going to begin speaking. Suppose, say, why do you like do you think pets are actually a stressful I mean a very good uh, you know stressful thing for a human life, like say it relieves you from personal mind health, or it's a relief for people who are actually in stress. Pets are actually a relief for people who are in stress. You do you agree or disagree? Just repeat the sentence when you're speaking session begins. Do not start something new. Start with the same session. That will gain marks for you. You will have more. You will actually, a few seconds will go in that, and then you should have a proper conclusion when you're doing your speaking. I will explain to you all the tips that you need for speaking in the upcoming slides. Next is writing. You have two tasks. Either, one task is you listen to someone speak. From what you infer from that, you want to write an essay. Second is you will be given a situation like you are a responsible youth. What do you want to do for the nation? And you have to write an essay on that. Don't write cranky, funny things. It is not the standard for a TOEFL or an IELTS exam. I know that all of us wouldn't, but I'm just giving it as a precaution that don't write. If in case you're going to write proper things, just think you're a professional, think you're doing it for something that you want to achieve, and then do your essay. Don't spend much time on thinking, just pour out the points and start writing. Before going for writing, like before going for appearing for any of the exams, let it be IELTS, TOEFL, just practice will make you learn new words. Practice will make you get the flow. Just have a flow of what you're going to do. Just read a lot of books and newspapers. Even if you're not able to read books, read newspapers, because our newspapers have very difficult words that are more than enough for us to understand, and we'll start using new words, because we don't talk English daily. We talk only when in need. So we don't get to know a lot of new words. So a small tip for us is that we need to learn English. That is, we have to study English. So you can't by heart, but you can learn it day by day. So the TOEFL examination, this is how the TOEFL examination will be. You'll be having 60 to 80 minutes for reading. Listening will be 16 to 90. You have a break of 10 minutes. Speaking is 20, writing is 50. So your your TOEFL internet-based test will be for 4 hours, and it's either from 10,500 to 13,700 rupees. Your next is your TOEFL paper-based test will be 10,500 rupees. This is just an approximate. This is just a approximate amount. The sure amount is around 14,000 or something. So this is, I would recommend all of you to take your internet-based test, because that is very available. And internet is something which is very available in our place. So do, even if you are in any other state also, take an internet-based test, because that will get you more marks than that of your paper-based test. So this is how your TOEFL scoring is. Your reading will be out of 30 marks. You should get above 22 for you to get a very good TOEFL score. Okay, TOEFL is out of 120. You get above 100, you get all the B grade colleges. You get above 110, you get all the A grade colleges. It's not like our ranking system like SAB. I'm just telling the normal AB system. So your A grades are the top grade colleges that you will get above 110. Your B grade will be above 100. You have to score above 22 in every section for you to get a very good score. So I would recommend all of you to practice on your speaking. Like, don't go and try to talk to someone, talk in front of the mirror, because that will make you rectify your mistakes more. For writing, try typing every day for 20 minutes at a stretch without a gap, so that you will get the flow of typing when you appear for an exam. For listening, please listen to all the speakers in various countries, so that you'll get to know how they pronounce the words and how you have to understand it. For reading, read the newspapers and get to learn new words, because there might be questions where you have to answer like what is the meaning of a particular word, and you shouldn't feel like you don't know the meaning of it. So try to get that. So now I'm coming to the sections. Reading. So as I said, for reading you'll be having around 60 to 80 minutes. So first is that how you're supposed to answer your reading is that you will have huge passages. First, around 4 to 5 paragraphs will be there in every passage. Take only around 4 minutes to read the passage. Read every single paragraph. Get to know the gist of the paragraph. For example, we will take an example of some author who's writing about an article about his favorite food, and now you have he is going to write about 4 countries that he's visited and the food in that place. So every paragraph will have something different that is not there in the other 3 paragraphs. So first read all the paragraphs carefully. Do not scan the lines. Read everything properly. Just get to know what is important in every line, and then you have to make a point of just make points of what is there, like what exactly you have to do, and what do you need exactly in that, and then just go to the questions. Don't go to the questions and then come back to the answers, because and then come back to the passage, because finding the answers will be very difficult. Your first question will be in the last paragraph, your second will be in the second paragraph. It's going to be a very clumsy pattern. So just get to know that. So next, what I would want to tell is, next is when you're going for your reading, just get to know that you will have a lot of 4 sections. It will not be like how you expect. Your sections will be like, first you'll be having multiple choice questions. Like as I said, we have our first column, like our first question will be like, choose the answer, like where you have to, just a minute. So your first will be like where you have to choose the answer, a multiple choice question, where you'll be having a definition between. You have to choose the definition. Like they'll ask you a question like, what is the meaning of this particular word, and you have to choose it. Or they will ask either true or false, or you have to choose the incorrect answer, or you have to choose the incorrect answer. And then next is insert a sentence. Like say for example, you have an entire passage about what food will be given in Italy, and then you have a lot of questions like, what is your favorite food, or like it'll be like, what is the author's favorite food, and then you have to complete the sentence by saying the author's favorite food is like he likes any dish that is being prepared by any particular author, and that you have to read the paragraphs correctly. Summary is like, you will have to write it only in 1 or 2 words. Make sure that you type it as soon as possible. Don't delay whatever you have to write in summary. Like you have to read the entire passage. It will be like a person who's been typing, like he'll given information about he's gone to a trip to a particular valley or something, or he's been to a very beautiful place where the scenery is so beautiful. So you have written a very short summary, or sorry, a short article. You have to read the article, and then what you have to give is that you have to write a summary about what he's told. Like you have to write only 4 to 5 lines, like saying that he's visited this place and he finds these are beautiful. Or either it can be a very alarming article saying about a current issue that's been happening. You can write what you infer from that. But it's not like you have to match the answers that the computer has. It's just that you have to be very creative, because it's being corrected by someone else, another computer, so you needn't worry about it. Category chart, as I said, it's about your it's something like match. So I'll explain how it goes. For example, we have a person who's being talking about the things that you have to do and do not in corona, and you have a person who's telling his experience that he is actually a patient and he is now and he's cured, and now he gives an article saying that I am a person who's cured, and he gives the do's and don'ts, and that is where you have to pay attention. Mark your do's and don'ts. You can actually mark in your computer your do's and don'ts. So either they'll give you a paper or pen and you can write your do's and don'ts. So they'll ask what are the do's that you have to do in during your corona time or when you're admitted in the hospital, or don'ts you have to mark according to it. You will have options for that, but you have to mark the answers properly. So please read your answers before submitting it. Do not submit it without and do not just do it like you have this assumption that what you're doing is right. Have a read of the entire passage and then go for the questions. Do not hurry up. You have enough amount of time, but do not wander your time at the same time also, because computer exams are actually quite boring. I do have to accept it. You will have a time where you have to look around at the others and all, but you have to concentrate, because you can only score in 3 sections, and writing is a place where they will score very less. Not It's not the fault on us, it's just that they are not impressed with what we write, and that's why we score less. So listening is like you will have a lot of conversations, but you'll have multiple answers. Like it's the listening and reading sections will have the same type of questions. It's just that you have to read different paragraphs or different articles, and you have to answer from that. For listening, you will listen to lectures and then you have to answer. First will be like you will have an image of two people or two students who are talking, and then they will be talking about a subject that they have missed. For example, let's have that they have Python is one of their subjects, so they're talking about the difficulties that they face when they're doing programming. So that is you'll have a picture of two people talking, and you will have a voice of what they are talking. So you will have to infer from the image that they are students, and you shouldn't have any other. You have to infer few things from the image and from the audio. So please listen to the audio very clearly, because once you start leaving the points that you haven't listened in the audio, then you cannot match up with the answers. Listen to the audio clearly. Write down whatever you think is important. You might even think like they might say whatever university name that they are studying in. You might think they might not ask a simple question. Do not predict the questions. They can ask any questions that they want. Like for example, they are studying in Brooklyn University and they're talking about some subject. You might think that how can they ask such a simple question saying which university are they studying in, but they might ask questions. It is a surprise package. We don't know what type of questions will come. So please listen to the audio and make notes. Have a habit of making notes when you're doing your listening or when you're doing your writing. But don't spend a lot of time in doing that in reading. Do not write notes, because you're going to match your answers and then only do it. So don't write notes while in reading. But if in case you think it might help you, then do it. But for listening and writing, do write notes, because that will help you score more. So for listening, when you're listening to the conversation, write notes. You will have questions like multiple choice. Like they might ask, like they're talking about Python and they spoke about a single something a new technique that they can crack a program that is being and what was very carefully. So, as I said, there might be a conversation that would involve a student or either a professor, or it can even be an interview and you can answer according to it. So, you can listen to the conversation only once. Please take notes, identify the idea and the important details. Note every single thing that you find it important. Please do not leave it carelessly, because even a small point will make an important impact in your marking. Please note that. Next is structure and written expression. So as I said, your paper-based test will not have speaking. Instead, it will have something called structure and written expression. You will be having 40 questions and you'll have to answer it in 25 minutes, because your paper-based test is only for 3 hours, whereas your other test is for 4 hours. So the questions will be structured with like either a sentence completion or identifying the errors. This is something that we have been doing it from our primary school. Like you will be having, no, it's not that easy, but this might be a bit difficult. Like you have to rearrange the entire sentence, so you have to find the grammatical mistake. It will never be easy, it will be difficult. You have to find the error in the phrases. It can either be a spelling error or the meaning of the entire sentence might change. So according to it, you have to know your grammar properly. So if in case you're taking a paper based test, then concentrate on this. Otherwise, just focus on the other sections. Now comes speaking. So in speaking, you have 6 sections. There are 3 simple and 3 integrated. So let me come for the speaking simple. So first will be like you will have okay, so speaking is where you can make mistakes. First, let me explain about speaking and then go to the task. So speaking is where you'll make a lot of mistakes. Why do we make mistakes in speaking? Is because we don't speak English daily. That's not our fault, because we talk in what language we are comfortable in, and we can manage with that language over here. But when you're going abroad, English is a universal language and you need to know it. You need that for survival. So what I would recommend all of you do is, if you can't talk English daily to someone because they might mock at you, if you have that feeling in you, do not have that feeling. Your mirror is your best friend. That's what I did. You might find funny, people might think what you're doing, but please don't keep that in mind. Talk in front of the mirror, because you will not gain confidence from when you talk to others, but you will gain it when you talk to yourself. You might think that I might be mad at this time, but no, you start talking to yourself, you will understand your mistakes. No one will find your mistakes. They'll try to pacify you by telling you are good in this, you need not change. But only when you start talking to yourself in front of the mirror, you'll know why you're stammering, you'll know why you take a lot of pause, you know why you make mistakes by pronouncing the words. So I would like all of you to do this as an exercise when you're going for your examinations. Do speak in front of the mirror. Practice topics that you're relevant in. Topic can be, but they will ask different topics, but practice, then only you'll be confident. It's not that they're going to ask the same topic, but you'll be confident enough to manage. So let me go into the 6 sections. The first section is that you will be actually talking about your own ideas and opinions. So, for example, as I said in the beginning, one of your questions will be like, you have a pet animal. Do you think it is a solution for your mental health? Like saying that you have a dog. Few people will not say dog because they think that it's a part of the family and they'll have different names for it. So when you have a pet, and you think it's family, or when you don't have a pet, or when people, there are people who are scared of dogs or cats or any pet animal, they might find it very difficult, that they might not accept to the point that pet animals are actually good for mental health. So you have to say whether you agree or disagree with this point. So the question is like, do you think pet animals are a relief for our mental health problem solution? So you will have only 15 seconds to think. I know that's very less of time, but you have only 15 seconds. You have to talk. You have to decide what you're going to tell in those 15 seconds, and you have to talk within 45 seconds. That is also a very less time. It's not like that you have to talk for 45. It's not like you have to talk for 2 minutes. You are only going to talk for 45 seconds. Begin. Let it be any integrated or any task. Start your speaking section with the question, and whether you disagree to it or you agree to it or anything. Or if in case at that point, if you remember a quote that was told by a very famous person, then you can use it. That would be a very good start for your speaking, and you can gain marks. So if in case you're starting a conversation like, pets are important for person's mental health, do you agree or disagree? You can start now. You have only 15 seconds. Do not waste your 15 seconds by writing points for speaking. Just keep the points in mind. For example, like the same question for your pets, just keep points like this in mind. Like, you have to think that they're loyal, and they are actually very cute, and they will never leave you at any point of time, even when you have a very bad time. They are the only ones who will come around and around you to make you feel bad. They'll pacify you, and you can talk points that are relevant to you, and which, if you have a dog, then you are lucky. You can talk any points. You can tell your experience also when you have to tell it. You have, in these 15 seconds, you only have to frame points like this in your mind. Do not write it. 45 seconds is going to begin, and that time, what you have to do is you have to begin with the first sentence of your question, and then you say, I disagree. I'm sorry. You have to say, I disagree with the point, or I agree with the point. You can tell it like that, and you can support uh, for why you disagree or agree. Before going for the test, have a timer, 45 seconds, time it, and check how you're talking. Take a recorder and start recording what you're talking. After you complete 45 seconds, listen to what you spoke and rectify your mistakes from that. You have to talk in front of the mirror. Point one, to gain confidence. Second is just get to know if you can talk in speed within 45 seconds. That's it. So these are the two tasks that I would actually give as a tip before you go for speaking. So your second question will be like, it is going to be a question that's like something related to the present issue. or any idea about what you think about a particular situation? Like there might be questions like, if you could donate a large amount of money for scientific or medical research, how would you want the money to be used? So now you can say that I would donate the money for a large amount. I would donate a large amount of money for scientific or medical research because I believe that they will be a very important part of the nation's pride, and I think that they can save people, or I think that they can bring pride to people. You can tell any points that you think are relevant to the question, but you have only 45 seconds to talk, and you have only 15 seconds to write. You take your points. So just time up things, practice all these before you go for the exams. It might be quite hectic, but if you don't practice, then you will feel tensed and nervous when you appear for the exam without practice. So I would suggest all of you to practice before you do everything. Your third and fourth question is like, you will listen to a conversation and you will have a small paragraph about about any topic. Like it's the same question. Like for example, there's someone who's talking about any particular act that has happened, like let it be a legal aid project or any project that has happened, and they are talking about it. And or it can even be a film's review, and there are a few people who are talking about their there might be a critic who is talking about the film, what they feel about the film. You have to talk like what you infer from what they talk. Like from, like suppose they are telling that the movie is quite okay and they could have put in more characters. Whatever you know about the characters, you can put it in whatever you have to talk in those 45 seconds. But listen to that and make points when you're listening to the audio. Do not do that when you have time, when you have those 15 seconds. And 15 seconds, just keep it in mind, and 45 seconds, just shoot everything. This is task 3 and 4. So these are the tips. Don't take much time to prepare for the task. Think quickly. So you will have only 15 seconds. So talk naturally. Don't think of the time that is being going. 45 seconds, you can do it easily. Don't just think that 45 seconds going to end, and don't speed up what you want to tell. Just be confident. So these are also tips for your third and fourth sections. So take good notes while you're reading and listening. Do not waste your time when you're doing that. Take a small summary, because all of us are now we are engineering students, and when we are reading any topic, we will make notes in the side from what we understand. Just do that for your reading. I mean, for your speaking over here when you're reading any passage or something. Take notes, listen to the audio clip carefully, and then you start telling what you want to tell, what you feel. So your 5 and 6 is the integrated thing, and where you get 20 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to talk. So what will your question be like? It will be like you have to. It will be a very difficult question. It's not an easy question. Same. You'll have a person talking, and you have to infer from that and talk. Like you'll be like, it can be equality in the nation, saying that you can talk about the political women leaders and the men leaders, like how much equal they are, what is happening for them. You can talk something like that. So you have to think about what you want to tell before you lose a word when you're talking. Don't easily give up words, just talk, learn new words. For speaking, I would tell you to make points, because this is 60 seconds, 1 minute. So you have to utilize the entire minute. You have to talk for the minute. Do not stop in between. So next is your speaking strategies. I said you have to ace the section, because speaking, more than writing, reading, and listening, speaking will make them believe that you are good enough in English. Because more than, if you're in a university, now you're writing in English, you're not writing anything in your own language when you're appearing for an exam. So they will know that you're confident enough to write anything that you read in English, but they don't know that you can speak in English. So you have to prove to them that you can ace any speaking question if asked. So just practice according to it. Practice at least like 2 to 3 hours a week. Practice in front of the mirror. Take a timer. Practice for 45 seconds. Take a recorder. Record whatever you have to for 45 seconds. Listen to the recording and rectify your mistakes. Writing is, you'll be having two passages, integrated and independent. So for your integrated writing, what you would first writing will be your independent writing. So sorry, first will be both your integrated and independent should be around 300 words. It's not that you need to have a specific amount of words, but please don't make it less than 300. Make it, it's above 300 also, it's fine. Take 20 minutes for your first reading and only 30 minutes for your second reading. I will tell you why. Your integrated section is like you'll be listening to an audio or you have to read to a passage, say about, and it's about a person who has passed away, an important leader in the particular nation has passed away, and you have to write what you infer from the audio note from the other leaders, or you are going to read an article about him. Just write what you infer from that. Take points from the audio and from the reading and make it, but make sure it's not the exact copy. Insert new words, write whatever you infer from that. Independent will be like, as I said before, you will have a question like, you are the youth of the nation, what would you do to bring pride to your nation, or what would you do to develop your nation? Make sure you bring a lot of points. Learn a lot of new words, even though you can't use it in your daily basis, but keep learning the words and meanings. They will help you at one point of time, and that I think your examinations will be that point of time. Read a lot of newspapers, read a lot of new words. Don't buy heart, but read it in a regular basis so that it gets into your head. So as I said, your integrated task and your independent task for 20 minutes and 30 minutes. You'll have your reading time for 3 minutes, listening for 2 minutes, and writing for 15 minutes. So just take points from your whatever you're reading or from your writing, from your listening, and then do the writing. Do not copy, but make something similar to it. So I have explained all the 4 sections, and I've given you few tips that you have to follow for all the 4 sections. I'm just going through a small. I'll just tell you what and all I have to tell again. For your reading, read every single paragraph. Just get to know the gist of the paragraph. Write it separately and just keep it. Because when you can't read the questions, and according to the question, search in the paragraph. That is going to be a very terrific task that you're going to do. Read the passages first and then go for the questions. Do not do the vice versa. Second, if you're going for your listening, listen to the audio carefully, because you're going to listen only once. Just think that this is your last chance and listen to it only once. Make notes. Make even simple notes. Like whatever you listen as the simplest thing, just make notes. You are not going to have, nothing is going to happen even if you write university as one of your point, because nothing is it won't make a difference, but you will have a confidence that you have written all the points that you need for the questions. Do not see the questions and then go for listening. Listen and then go for the questions. Next, make notes for both reading and listening. Speaking, speak in front of the mirror. Speak with the timer. Speak with the recorder. These are the 3 things that I will tell. You speak in front of the mirror, you are confident. You speak with the timer, you will get to know how much you can talk in 45 seconds, with what speed. And next, when you speak in front, I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. So yes, if you're speaking, and if you're first I said, if you're speaking in front of the mirror, you'll gain confidence. If you are speaking with your timer, you will know how speed you're talking, like how much you can cover in 45 seconds. And with the recorder, after you record whatever you talk, you can listen to whatever mistakes you've done. Do not stammer. Try to use new words, but do not put in an accent. You fake the accent, you will start losing points, because you will get nervous when you start faking the accent, and you will not try to cover whatever points you're coming to tell. So there are many universities that will accept your score out of 61 out of 120 to 110 out of 120. I would suggest all of you to score above 100 out of 120, because this is a very easy examination, and you can score above 100 out of 120 in all as an overall mark. So this is an I forgot to tell this in the beginning. I'm sorry. Your IELTS examination is also another English examination, which you will write when you have to go for universities like Canada, Australia, UK, or anything else. You can write your IELTS and convert it to TOEFL, because IELTS is easy when compared to that of TOEFL. You will not have a lot of sections like that in TOEFL. It's not very difficult. The question paper is not difficult like that in TOEFL. So people will prefer to write your IELTS first and then go for the TOEFL and then convert it to TOEFL. You can never write your TOEFL and convert it to IELTS, but you can write your IELTS and then convert it to TOEFL. So if you score around 7.5, you get 100 above in your TOEFL. So you would get amazing universities if you get 100 above, because they'll only take your GRE score, quant score, and your English score from TOEFL. Try to score a 160 plus out of 170 in your quants for GRE. your study material, your books and resources will be available in the below sites. So there are these three sites are very good sites where you get very good study material for TOEFL. You can do self preparation or you can go for the classes to gain more confidence. But self preparation will make you you will always have this one thing in your mind that you're not good enough, and you would start practicing more. So there are many colleges that will accept your marks, your TOEFL score. It is valid for 2 years, just like IELTS. Your GRE is valid for 5 years. If in case you will be going in another 2 years, please write your TOEFL now. When you have a lot of time, do your TOEFL examinations, take proper follow the tips and do proper preparation. So your score will be given in 10 days because through an email, because you're writing it as an internet based test. The and I want to tell this to you: when you're going for speaking, please do, there will actually be like this. You'll be having counters where you will be talking your first section, and the next counter there will be a person who will be talking for the third section, for the third task. You will be doing your first task, he'll be talking for the third task, and the other person next to him will be doing his sixth task. So do not get confused with what they're talking. Listen to what you have to talk and talk only on that. Focus on what your questions are. Do not listen to the other sounds, and talk directly what you have to talk. And importantly, the person who is going to ask the question is not the person who's going to give marks for you. The computers, there will be another person who will actually take your recorded responses and then give marks for you. You will not actually talk to a person. It's actually a computer, and you have a mic, and you will be talking like that, like how you do for an online interview. So your IELTS and TOEFL preparation will actually, your TOEFL is harder. I'm just explaining why, which is harder, either your IELTS or your TOEFL. I would say TOEFL is harder. Your IELTS is quite easy. It's not because of the questions and all. The pattern is very less in that of IELTS when compared to that of TOEFL. You'll have only 3 sections to talk in IELTS. You have 6 sections to talk in TOEFL. You do not have a timing process like 45 seconds for each section in TOEFL. In IELTS, you can talk for 3 minutes or even 2.5 minutes. So IELTS is compared easy to that of TOEFL, but TOEFL would be easier if you take it, if you were concentrating on US mainly. So what are the points? As I said, you have to score high, because the more you score, you get a good scholarship, you get a good university. So practice a lot for your speaking. Read a lot of newspapers, read a lot of things in the internet, go through reading sections in the internet test, listen to a lot of native speakers. And for writing, typing is very important. Type at least for 20 minutes at a stretch. Practice all these. So for non-technical English, as I said, read for 30 minutes every day. Your breaking news or something in your English server, or stories or something. So just practice every day, because that's the only thing that you can do for the time. Do a timed writing before test, because we might not notice the time when we are doing any test. We might actually think that we have leisure time, but you get tensed when you get to see those last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and you wouldn't have even completed a paragraph. So do not take leisure time. Just type as much as you can when the timing that you have. So listen, as I said, listen to a lot of speakers, use active and passive learning strategies, take practice tests. There will be a lot of practice tests when you're booking for your examinations. Do according to that. So I have completed my TOEFL presentation. Just a minute. So I have completed my TOEFL presentation and my IELTS presentation. Now, like, if you have any doubts in IELTS or TOEFL, you can actually leave it in the chat box, or you can, if you have any doubts, you can ask. You can actually Google it, because there are so many people who write a lot of reviews about your every examination. So like I have, and I will take another a few minutes to just tell you about the abroad studies and how it's going to be. So do not get scared, because it is something like you are going to a totally different place. Few things that you won't know. So don't get scared for these exams. These exams are like, it's not cakewalk also. It is difficult, but it's not like how you think. It's not where you have to get tense. For speaking, for any exam, let it be IELTS or TOEFL, don't get tense. For writing, practice typing. For reading, you have to time it and do it. Do not be very lethargic when you're doing reading. And for listening, listen to a lot. I either see a lot of English movies also, because all of us are seeing when we're being free, we see English movies. Get Just don't go with the story, just see the way the speakers talk in the movie, like how the actors not more than what they perform, the way they pronounce the words, the everything. Just keep noting things. And you if you have plenty of time, then there are many sites that actually have free tests. Please do take them and practice a lot before going for the test, because the more you score, if you have a low CGPA, I mean, is 7 or 6.5, your GRE or your TOEFL mark will actually get you places high. You can go to any university. Or if you are taking, if your score is around 8.5, do not think that if you score a 60 in your TOEFL will make you go heights. You have to score 100 again to get a very good university. I would suggest, if you're taking US as one of your countries, then I mean, if that's been your plan, then do take Chicago as your first place and start preparing for your GRE and TOEFL and IELTS. You all can ace the exams, it wouldn't be a problem. Just practice, that would be more than enough. There are many places that would guide you, but I would tell all of you to ask people in the country about the examination, I mean, about the universities, and then take a wise decision. So I have done my presentation, and all the best to all of you if you're taking your exams pretty soon or maybe later. All the best, and thank you. Sir, I've completed, sir. Thank you. Um, Sir, can I leave the meeting?